Hi, I'm Tomasz and you're watching Casual DIY channel. In today's video, router bits. Check out the video. Right then, so in today's video I want to talk about a little bit about router bits, especially router sets, okay? So if you're starting your adventure with doing some routing, you maybe bought your first router and you're thinking to yourself, which router bits or sets should I actually get, as there are absolute hundreds of them available, and quite often you're going to see some router bit sets at really reasonable prices. For example, like these Chinese or usually no name router sets. Okay, the other one I've got is from a company called Trend, UK based make, and I'm gonna go in comparing them a little bit and telling you a bit more of a story of what should you expect from a Chinese version of the router sets, and maybe something similar from a branded company, from a branded make that actually doesn't cost a lot more than the Chinese version. Before we actually go into the details of this video, I just want to do a quick disclaimer. The Chinese version of the router sets, I've bought that and I had it for years. The Trend router bit set, that has been sent to me by Trend probably about 3-4 months ago. With the set from Trend, I've got no obligations to do any videos, say absolutely anything. It was their risk to send me their items to check out and test, basically. So you can be absolutely assured that whatever I say is exactly what I think. Right, so let's start with the no-name Chinese set of router bits. I had it for at least 3, maybe 4 years now. And why did I get it? Because it was cheap. Okay, it was cheap and there's 35 pieces in this set. And I thought to myself, that was absolutely fantastic deal. I'm gonna buy them. To be absolutely honest with you, most of the bits have never been used by me, okay? I've actually made a video on 4 router bits that you're gonna need in your workshop, and to be fair, they cover about 80% of what I use my router for. And if you haven't seen that video, I'm going to drop a link down below to it so you can go and have a look. So from that perspective, it actually goes against of the sense of buying a set like this. However, usually with these sets, with the Chinese set or with the Trend set, the 4 router bits that I suggest, they actually come in different sizes, okay, in the set itself. Now, if you wanted to go each individual router bit, it probably will actually cost you a lot more. So from just money perspective, it's actually better to buy the whole set. Both of the sets, the shanks, are 1/4 of an inch. These sets are directed to DIYers like myself or occasional use. I would definitely not recommend either the Chinese version or the Trend to professionals or to people that will be using a particular bit for a longer time. Those people, you guys that do that, you need to invest in something that's far more expensive, but the quality is on another level. Before we move forward, I want to talk about the price of both of these sets. Now, this set, I bought it from Banggood, as I said, 3-4 years ago. I can't remember the price, but it was very cheap. Today, you can get the same set, 35 pieces, for 54 British pounds, which is about 69 US dollars. However, the Trend, this is only 30 pieces, so 5 pieces less, will cost you on Amazon 58 British pounds. So as you can see, the price difference between them is actually not that great. So, you know, yeah, you can think to yourself, well, the Chinese version is few quid less, and actually I got 5 more router bits. I will do some test cuts for you, so we're gonna try a few of these bits from the Chinese sets, few of these bits from the trend set. Now, one thing straight out of the bat, as I said, some of the bits in this box I have never ever used. So more or less the blades are brand new in a way. Now I can pull them out, right? And I can touch the blades. They are sharpish, okay? I can feel them under my finger, but if I rub them, I'm not gonna harm myself, I'm not gonna cut my fingers. Now, with the trend cutters, they are absolutely scary sharp. The first time we're taking them out of the box and taking the membrane that is casing those, I've cut myself several times. I know it's a stupid thing. I should have wore some gloves or anything like that, but it just shows how sharp these bits are. And I've actually had some proper time with these bits now, at least 4 months, and I've been using only those. And the bits that I've been using, you know, mostly to do the jobs I've got to do around my workshop, they are still scary sharp. Whereas the bits from the Chinese version, they're not. And to be fair, most of them gone pretty bad. Like for example, this straight bit, look at that. And it wasn't used that often and that hard. Now, one thing that I want to show you that speaks about the quality of the Chinese version. Now, this bit had a fitting on top and there was a bearing on it, okay? When I was using this bit, the whole thing just snapped and flew away, destroying my project, yes. And obviously, you know, it's just such a dangerous thing. And after that happened, to be fair, I was actually scared of using this set, especially the ones with the bearings. Now, I went and, you know, you can undo the bearings and put them back on, and just to check if they are, you know, attached properly or anything like that. And after checking all those bits, I found 2 more that the bolt at the top of the bit was actually not holding the bearing correctly. Some of the bearings were actually stuck, so they were not moving at all. Those I managed to fix. But it just shows the poor quality of the Chinese set. Whereas with the trend bits, so far, about 4 months of solid usage, I've got no issues. None of that burning occurs. Nothing wrong is happening with the bearings. They all work correctly. They all spin as they should. And most importantly, none of them came off flying at me as yet. Okay, but enough of that talk. I've got a router table just over here, and we're gonna test a few of these router bits right now for you so you can see how they perform. First of all, we're gonna check out the straight bits. I'm gonna go with trend first, and after that we'll follow with the Chinese equivalent. Okay, so that was the trend bit, and check out on the edge on this laminate. Absolutely dead perfect cut. Hardly any chip out in the melamine. Really nice. Okay, next to it, let's do the Chinese version. Okay, let's check out the results. So as you remember, the first one is the trend and the second one is the Chinese version. And as you can see, it's actually not bad at all. I would say it's the same quality cut, maybe a bit of chip out over here, as it was with the trend bird. Now let's have a look at the V-groove bits. And again, absolutely perfect cut. In this case, there's absolutely no chip out at all, even a single bit. Okay, so that was the trend. Let's change it for the Chinese version. I just want to mention that all the bits at each test are at the same height. Okay, as you can see, the cut is also very good and there's no chip out. Check this out. Now let's check out the round over bits. Absolutely perfect and nice edge. Nice and smooth. And again, it's not too bad. However, there's a bit of a tear out just over here, as you can see. It's not a nice and crisp edge as it was with Trent. However, I think this is down to this particular piece of wood, really. You can check these out. Okay, that's the Trend. It's absolutely dead smooth. This one is not as great. However, I think it's just a piece of timber in this case rather than the bit itself. And the last bits I want to test are the chamfer bits. This time I'm going to be using them on a handheld router. Check that out. Absolutely beautiful, perfect and smooth edge. Right, let's try out the Chinese version. And again, nice clean edge, quite smooth, no issues. Okay, so as you've seen per the tests, there is actually not much difference, or there isn't at all, between the quality of cuts of either of this set. However, there are things that you just can't show via a video, how they work, how easy they are to push through the material, what resistance do you feel when using them. And I have to say, from that perspective, the Trend set is better. It purely is. That's it. And I have been trying to use the 18mm straight bit from Trend to the similar extent as I did with the Chinese one. And as you can see, the Chinese just died on me during a project I was doing, whereas the Trend is still fine. No issues with it at all, and it's still very, very sharp, and you can quite easily cut yourself on the blades, whereas the Chinese ones, not really. I'm not trying to sell you the Trend version at all. I'm going to leave links to both of these sets down below in the description of this video, so you can check out exactly what you're getting. Read the description, what sizes you can actually get. However, my feeling and experience with both of these sets, I think the Trend is definitely better, and for sure all the bits will last a lot longer than the cheap Chinese ones. And to be fair, as you've seen, the price, they are actually not that much cheaper either. If that set was, I don't know, 40% cheaper, then it could make some sense to get the Chinese version. However, with the prices being so similar to each other, my choice would definitely be the Trend one, especially when considering the reputation of Trend bits. I've got more trust in these than in the yellow ones. However, at this point, I want to ask for your support on this topic as well, as I know quite a few of you do have the cheap Chinese set. And I also know that quite a few of you are using the Trend cutters, or maybe a different make. Therefore, I would like to ask you guys to drop comments down below in your experiences, if you've got the Chinese version, if you've got the trend version, but also if you've got a set from a totally different brand, if it's good or bad, if the price is more or less the same. Share that information with us. So the more information we can share in the comment section, the more educated we can be in our future purchases. And your experiences with either of the sets or totally different sets could be very, very valuable for somebody that's in the market to buy a set. So yeah, please share with us your thoughts, your experiences with the router sets. And I just want to point one thing. Yes, I'm absolutely aware that if you buy a bit that costs £100, it will be far better than either of these sets. And that's a fact, okay? However, this video is dedicated to people that do DIY work, okay? They're not maybe professionals. They don't trim 100 meters of boards. Okay, so this is for casual use, DIYers. That's what I'm aiming this video for. So, you know, probably the top bracket for a set, I would say 100 British pounds is a reasonable amount to get a, you know, fairly basic and DIY friendly set. So I'm hoping that with your support we can actually find the best set that will be budget friendly, safety friendly, and it will give us a really nice and good result. So yeah, I'm looking forward to your comments and your experiences. Now I hope today's video and hopefully a lot of comments in the comments section will be some help to you. If it is, drop me that like button down below. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing, as there is a constant flow of new content. But for today, guys, that's it from me. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching. Take care.